안녕하세요.
Konnichiwa.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Katie.
And we are H&K Drama. Today we are going to be doing a drama review for the drama Pinocchio. Yes, it just finished up.
And it was considered like one of the best dramas of 2014, so...
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So, Pinocchio is starring Lee Jong-suk and Park Shin-hye, and oh my goodness, I've seen them come so far. Looking back at Secret Garden and You're Beautiful and seeing them both evolve as actors and actresses, it was fantastic. Pinocchio is about a girl who has the Pinocchio syndrome, where she hiccups whenever she lies, and this causes some problems in her life, especially when she decides she wants to be a reporter. This drama is like crime and mystery, but it has romance, and it's like...
Yeah.
How social media affects lives.
Yeah, I found that really interesting, just like the whole idea with the media and how the media can change how we think of things. It kind of reminds me, you know that one post like that's on Tumblr where it shows like the TV, but then it doesn't show the whole picture? Kind of like that sort of thing where you only get like so much of the story, and just how the media can lie to you, and it makes for a really interesting like concept and a really interesting story.
Yeah, and it was told in a very good way so that you were kept on the edge of your seat, and it never got boring. Like, I could see how it could get boring if they didn't do the plot, pacing, and if they didn't do it well, but Pinocchio was very well done, and it really made you think as well as just being an overall enjoyable drama.
All the characters were super awesome, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know about you, but the second female lead, best one ever, Yoon Rae, she is awesome. She's just
my favorite.
So funny. She's great. And also An Chan-soo and the captain.
Yes.
There's so many great side characters in here.
I appreciated that you were just as invested in the side characters as you were the main characters, and they were just as great and hilarious, and it was so nice to have a very good and non-evil second female lead.
Mm-hmm. And also the second male lead too. Like, you kind of hate him sometimes, but then other times you really like him.
Yeah.
And I feel like by the end, I really enjoyed So Bumjo. His name kind of cracks me up though, I'm not gonna lie.
And then, of course, there was the evil mother, or you can go a little farther if you have already watched this. I'm not gonna give spoilers, but there is at least one evil mother. She just, it was fantastic. Her acting was great. Like, you wanted to kill her.
The whole
like,
time,
more than usual.
Katie was just like, screw you.
She was like worse than Gu Junpyo's mother, and she was terrible. It was just like... So that's the end of the non-spoiler section. If you have not watched Pinocchio, we will leave a link to it down below. Go watch it. It's fantastic.
It's really awesome. There's 20 episodes, so...
Jump on the bandwagon. And if you've already watched Pinocchio, please stay for the rest of our spoilery review.
So, welcome back, people. It's the spoiler time!
Yeah!
Yes, so I really enjoyed Pinocchio. First of all, the soundtrack.
Yes.
At first, it felt weird because at times the soundtrack really didn't fit what was going on. Like, I felt almost like it was too upbeat for like the angst at some points, but it kind of grows on you. Like, by the end of the episode, I was like, yeah,
and it's like good. Whenever non-fiction began to play, which was the main theme song, it's either the end of the episode or something awesome is going to happen, and they're going to kick reporter butt.
Yeah, they always play that at the end of the episodes. I like that.
I love non-fiction. I thought that was a really great intro.
I pretty much watched this drama because it had Lee Jong-suk in it, because I watched Secret Garden, and like, he was kind of a minor character in that drama, but I was like, I like that guy, I'm gonna go watch his other stuff, and so that's why I ended up watching it.
And he was fantastic. Best character intro to a male lead ever.
Oh yeah.
연승을 저지하기 위해 내가 왔다. 챔피언 안찬수와 같은 학교 전교 34등의 소재 최안호 전교 1등과 전교 34등의 박빙의 대결 지금부터 시작됩니다.
지켜주세요.
Choi Del-po on his game show thing with his terrible intro, which I'm glad they brought back. That was the best intro ever. Best character.
I love it how at the housewarming party they decide to watch that tape to just embarrass him.
I was just waiting for, and Yoon Rae's
like, she would never think that would happen.
It was beautiful, and his hair.
His hair was
so bad.
Speaking of Yun Ray, oh my gosh. Towards the end of the series, when she starts thinking that Choi Dal-po likes her, and then she's all like, no, I don't need you. But then she starts liking him and gets drunk like 3 times because of it.
And then we find out how she got into the newsroom every time.
The captain, oh my gosh, I ship them.
Whenever she was flirting, she'd just start doing the weird hair thing, and she'd walk away or skip, and when she killed the egg rolls or whatever, or the...
You're an egg roll of a man.
Die! You fooled me!
I really liked Seo Bum-jo as a second male lead as well. At first I was like, okay, he stole her text messages for 13 years.
Creeper.
Stalker. But
He takes stalking to a whole new level.
But you have to understand, like, he's been getting to know her for like 13 years, and then he shows up to finally meet her and finds out she's in love with her uncle. Like, not that they're related, but most people don't know that. I felt like his character honestly developed quite a bit, because towards the end, when he decides to quit becoming a reporter just so he can outfox his mother.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for him, because all his life, his mother has been, like, the person that's always been there for him and has always done all these things, and then to find out that he is living this life of luxury because she was such a backstabber and just blackmailed everybody is a lot to take in.
I think it was interesting how, like, In-ha's mother and Bum-jo's mother were very different yet very similar. But Choi In-ha's mom abandoned her, but she was still successful in the news industry. She was still evil, but she abandoned her, while Seo Bum-jo's mother was very supportive, like the best mother ever, but she was even eviler. Is eviler a word? They both had these false hopes that their parents were these great people, and they were both majorly let down, but it was interesting to see the contrast.
But In-ha's mother, Manager Sung, by the end you're like, she
redeemed herself.
I don't know if she completely
not
redeemed
fully,
herself,
but well enough.
Yeah, she definitely improved. Except, like, you're kind of still angry that she didn't decide to be a whistleblower, like, 14 years ago.
I was hoping she'd, take
that was honestly a moment of weakness for her, and I feel like after all these years, she finally sees the mistake that she's made, and so she tries to fix it, and the fact that she becomes a whistleblower instead of In-ha just shows that she actually does care for her.
I'm glad that she showed she cared and regretted leaving her, because that was, like, a big part.
Can we just talk about the grandpa? Choi Dal-po's adoptive father. I'm pretty sure he has the best, like, lines in this entire show. He was hilarious. The part where he's talking to In-ha's dad and he's like, you don't even have any dating experience.
At first we thought he was senile and he would just be like this minor character.
But then you realize that he actually did know what was going on, but he was there for Choi Dal-po anyway because he didn't have anywhere else to go, and you're just like...
And you realize, like, he had this whole plan to keep Choi Dal-po and keep pretending to be senile just so he could keep him. Even though he ended up taking his piggy banks and gutting them.
Stealing his money to buy
my Samsung! This drama was so serious, like, for the most part. Like, there were very serious parts. And then, out of nowhere comes this hilarious line or scene, and it's like, what?
The part where Choi Dal-po and An Chan-soo decide to get drunk on Christmas Eve, and they come home and it's like, pew, pew.
That's your Christmas present.
Choi Dal-po's brother, I don't understand how I can like him so much even though he murdered 3 people. Like, he's a likable character, even though, like, he killed people. But it kind of, I feel like he was a character, he was in there to kind of show what Choi Dal-po could become. Because I feel like they're almost 2 sides of the same coin, because they both are trying to get revenge and, like, make up for what happened when they were kids, yet they went about it in different ways. And for a while he started going down that path. He started shutting out, like, In-ha and his family, and before he realized that doing that just made it worse.
And there were, like, some really intense scenes where, I mean, Dal-po's brother, you would see both sides of him, and you were either cringing because, no, he's doing something terrible even though he's a good guy.
Or, like, the part where he saved the kid in the crosswalk. Like, you'd see him do this, but then you remember he buried a guy in a manhole and burned 2 other people.
Exactly. And I think that also contrasts the other characters where, like, they act good, but they really are evil, but
Like, so
he acts
mom.
good, but he did wrong things, but he's still a good person. Like, the complex characters are one of the best parts of this
show.
series.
Because that's really what drives the show, is just the characters, because they all have these different paths, but you only kind of get to see more and more pieces of it as it goes along, and it's really interesting because, like, a lot of them are connected to the same event, to the same fire that happened 14 years ago, but they all have kind of different perspectives on what's going on, and, like, different ways that they were affected, and I think it's really interesting to see that.
There were many layers to both the plot and the characters. It was just like, you peel away a layer, and there was another one, and another one, until you got to the core of what really happened and how this all came to the way it was.
At first you just think that it's manager Sung just being a really, really mean person to this family, not really caring, just trying to get the scoop. Then you realize she's being manipulated, and a whole bunch more stuff actually went on than what you first thought.
As well as the main characters. Again, the side characters were really investing.
Nosy Jang.
Nosy Jang. Even Nosy Jang. He wasn't even a
fabulous.
huge character.
He just wore the headband just to mess with
And
the
he
captain.
kept trying to get Yoon Ray to do
and
it.
eventually she did.
And she became Nosy Yoon. And
It was great. Another thing that I really appreciate about this is that the romance between Choi Dal-po and Choi In-ha kind of developed naturally. I didn't feel like it was
over 13
forced.
years.
Yeah, like, I mean, you see them, like, when they're kids, kind of having this relationship, and then in high school, it's not as bad,
closer.
and as they become adults, they're a lot more attracted to each other, and I felt like it developed really naturally.
Me too.
I really like that, because one thing that really bothers me a lot is when there's, like, insta-love type thing. I hate that.
Yeah, it was a really nicely developed relationship. It didn't happen like in a typical drama where you get into an awkward situation with this random guy on the streets and you end up seeing him again. Yes, exactly. It wasn't like that, which, I mean, those work for some dramas, but for this, the way this relationship came about and was developed was perfect, and we got to see them grow up together and just get closer and closer.
It was great.
And it was beautiful.
I have kind of mixed feelings about the finale, however. I felt like it was a good finale and, like, it did wrap up nicely, but there was still, like, I still wanted a bit more resolution with some of the characters. Like, we did get to go revisit some of the characters, but I still wanted to see more of, like, Choi Dal-po's brother, like, what he was doing right now, or Manager Sung, because, like, she's not being a reporter anymore.
Yeah, we kind of saw that she was a professor.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know a little more about how that came about, since she is, like, known to the public as this person who did these horrible things. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, and, like, On Chun-soo,
yes.
like, I just wanted, like, a little, well, we saw a bit of her when she was,
I wanted to see if she ended up with the captain, though.
Yeah, I wanted to see.
Because I shipped them. They were so awkward, yet perfect. Like,
yeah,
it was hilarious.
So, I mean, I liked it, but I, like, wanted a little bit more, and, like, the way it ends with Choi Dal-po and Choi In-ha, like, trying on all these clothes, I'm like, are they getting married? What are they doing? And
I'm assuming they got married.
Yeah, I'm assuming, but, like, you don't know. And I'm like, I need to know.
It was pretty good.
It was good.
It just had a couple more loose ends that I wanted to be tied up.
But Nosy Jang and the one camera lady got married.
And they, like, totally frustrated the MSC guys. The one guy that was always flirting with the camera lady.
And she's like, I married him for his attitude.
I know! When he was trying to learn to speak Russian and he was pretending to skate through the office. I loved him because he would, like, just randomly twirl off the screen.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about the part where the guy comes in and starts shooting people with a staple gun.
Apparently it was a nail gun.
But I was like, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, whoa. This
I felt
random
like that wouldn't
guy.
have happened, like, with security.
But I kind of saw it coming with the motorcycle.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
I was like, I feel like that was planned. I feel like
thought she
the
hired
motorcycle
someone,
guy
like,
purposely.
right away. I'm like, she hired someone.
And then, like, shooting people, and you're like, oh no. And then Choi Dal-po actually gets
He freaks
shot.
out karate, and he's just like, Pooh!
And then he runs to the rescue of In-ha and her mother. That was actually kind of terrifying when he was, like, breaking through the window. Like, I would be...
It was the first glimpse of showing that Manager Sung actually really cared about In-ha. She's like, no, I'll go out there. I'm like, you care.
Mm-hmm.
You're still bad, but you care.
I appreciate the Manager Sung started to realize that her being in a high position at a news, like, company wasn't worth, like, sacrificing her morals and, like, other people and stuff like that.
I think that In-ha kind of saved her in a way.
I like the part where where Choi Do-po, when he moves into his brother's house, and then his other family members just like show up,
And he's
but
like,
Inha's in the
here.
closet, so he starts playing EXO.
She's hiccuping, and then they made breakfast together. Cause she's like, "You have a sucky breakfast. I'm gonna make you a good breakfast." There are like gifs of that on Tumblr, and I just reblog all of them because it was a beautiful scene.
I really appreciate that Choi Do-po got a haircut.
Me too. The beginning, it was so
such
bad.
bad hair.
Like, I had already heard that he was gonna get a haircut, so I'm like, okay, I'll stick with it.
Also, I appreciate his and An Chan-soo's relationship because they didn't really like each other in high school.
No, exactly.
But then they meet, like, because of circumstances, and then they actually become friends, and I thought that was really adorable. And
Me too, and that An Chan-soo married the one chick from the class. And
Yeah.
they had 3 kids, and they're like,
Alcohol
how do they
is
have
the
kids
enemy.
like that? That they were so happy, and then like Do-po really developed with An Chan-soo, like Seo Bum-jo as well. Like towards the end, you kind of saw that they had a frenemy thing going on. Like
Yeah, because
they
they kind
weren't
of hated
enemies,
each
but
other.
they weren't
'cause
friends.
They both liked.
they
Inha.
tolerated each other and they respected each other. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
I loved when he shook up the beer and gave it to Bum-jo, and he was like, "You did that on purpose."
Like, hey, you want a drink?
He just.
Everyone in this drama is so sassy, though.
This sass was real. It was so real.
Oh, I found it funny that the guy that played a firefighter in Secret Garden was
Yes!
the same guy that played a firefighter in this. I was like, well.
Which, like, the first episode was super intense, but I'm like, oh, he's a firefighter again. I kind of found that funny.
Dies in a fire
Yeah.
both times.
Maybe he's just like the designated firefighter for K-dramas. Who knows?
Maybe, who knows? This drama just really shows how the little things you do can, like, really affect
Yes.
what happens in the future.
Change everything.
And how something you do could drastically impact someone else's life without even realizing.
And I was really afraid that, like, when the new factory explosion happened, that was going to happen to An Chan-soo's family.
I
And
was like, no.
it was just like, ugh, angst. So much angst. And I was really dreading it, but I needed to see what happened.
I felt like this drama had a really good balance of, like, angst and happiness, though. Because,
Yes.
like, too much angst, you're just like, stop
you don't
it.
want to watch.
But at the same time, I felt like there was a good enough balance.
And the
between
humor
two.
really helped.
Mhm.
The subtle hints of humor, just some of the lines that were said
Some of
in
the
a funny
one-liners.
way.
Like, when they're talking about before the factory explosions, like, I think the person was cooking ramen.
I know! It was the little things that really helped make this drama a perfect balance of serious and like, oh no, it's a crime, what's gonna happen?
Mhm.
It's funny and cute and happy, and I felt like it was really well balanced.
Like,
the plot was paced.
the thing
it
that
was
I can
just-
almost compare this drama to most, it kind of gives, like, some Sherlock
Yeah, I
vibes, I
agree.
guess. If you really like the BBC Sherlock, I feel like this is another good, because it is kind of a crime show, but it's also
Yeah.
about, like, the media and romance and stuff like that as well. It's interesting to see kind of into the lives of reporters, you know?
Yeah,
You don't
'cause,
really
like, you
think
don't
about,
imagine it.
when you're watching the TV and watching the news, you don't really think about, like, what's
Yeah.
going on behind the screen, so it was really interesting to see that.
Well, we just really enjoyed Pinocchio. We loved the characters, the humor, the balance, the plots. We had a great start and really drew you in. I thought it was really great. Since I started watching drama in 2014, and Hannah as well, I guess,
Yeah.
we probably can't really compare and say whether it really is one of the best dramas of 2014, but it definitely is
But
one
it
of the better
was
ones
a
I've
good
watched.
show, like, even not just
Yeah.
as a K-drama, but as a TV show in general, it was really interesting.
I feel like it's one that people who are used to watching like American crime shows could really get
like.
into.
Mhm.
And it was really enjoyable. I loved the soundtrack too, and the cameo from Asuka.
Yes!
As an attorney, a kind of clueless attorney.
Asuka would be a clueless attorney, though, let's be
He would
honest.
be. And I thought the little things were what made this
Mhm.
show great.
We will see you all soon, probably. Who knows? Katie might do a video, I might do a video, might do another one together. We shall see. But we hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you for watching.
We will see you all soon. Bye.
Peace out.